Silent of fall! Lakewood are doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down 30. Alone with a double kill. Dropping fast. Monopoint's there. He's still alive! Wait, second slide. He's going one side. He's going a second. He's taking it up. Oh my God! On three! They're all dead!
Hello everyone and welcome to the Summit to China. It's day number 1 of the official group stage. And I'm excited to bring you our starting matchup. It's going to be between the TI4 champions NewBee going against LGDcdec. Should be an exciting one. I'm Coddle Guy, going to be bringing you the action, but I am of course not alone. I'm going to be joined by my good friend for the second time straight, Mr. Blaze. Blaze, my friend, are you there? How's it going?
Doing pretty good, man. Looking forward to these games. NewBee, just a great team to watch. Obviously, they've had some issues with the direction and just general strategy with Zhao 8 missing from the lineup, but even still, they've kind of gotten together over the past couple of weeks, and I really feel like they are kind of finding their feet underneath them. So they still definitely can be dubbed the TI4 champions. They definitely deserve that title, and we'll see what they bring today here in the Summit China. But LGDcdec, I'm not so sure. Over the past 3 weeks, the only notable win they've gotten is against HGT, and that was, in fact, 3 weeks ago. So I wouldn't say that there's a lot of hope for them, but, you know, there's always hope in a series like this. You got to jump into it and say, okay, it's a best of 1. We just need to make this game count, and new metagame, new opportunities.
This is day 1. These teams want to be able to start out strong and hard and be able to take it right to it and make their way towards the land stage where they'll be here with us in the Beyond the Summit house. And looking forward to that one. And yeah, you're right. I mean, CDEC, they made their way through the qualifier stage as they beat out Tongfu 2-0 and then took out as well LV Gaming 2-0 in the playoff, the small playoff bracket they had. So them and Team DK made it into the main stage, and well, here they are now going to be going against none other than some would consider the Titans NewBee, and they're leading off with a Centaur War Runner and a Rubik. So they get a hold of the prized offlaner who has fantastic global coverage using that Stampede either offensively or we've seen many a time from many teams defensively. And for NewBee, they grab up one of the prized supports, the Skywrath Mage. Their second pick about to come out. We could see the corny combo of Faceless Void to follow it up. And there it is. I am on fire already. Let's hope it keeps on going, Blaze.
Well, it's not like it's something that we haven't seen time and time again. But speaking of time, I think the Chronosphere is going to be pretty appropriate here to deal with the Stampede. Like, the Rubik is kind of this pick that you want to bring to the table so that the enemy can't select it for themselves, because Rubik Skywrath is still really good. But if you get the Rubik against Centaur, then you can steal the Stampede for yourself. You can keep pace with the big man himself, and that's a pretty big deal. So the fact that they pick it up for themselves shows they are very confident in their laning. They want to go for those burst combos. They want to go for counterplay and react with that Stampede. But the Colonel will keep them in their place. That's one of the 3 major counters, I would say. The Dream Coil, the Chronosphere, and Overgrowth are the 3 abilities I look for when just wanting to hard counter Stampede. And obviously the Chrono works very well with Skywrath. So great opener here. We'll see if it's going to be that off-lane Void that's become more and more popular over 6.81, or if they're going to be trying to bring him into a little bit of mid to late game dominance with a hard carry position. But for now, they're banning out a lot of mid-oriented heroes. They are a little bit afraid of what we're going to be seeing from the skill of LGDcdec, the Templar Assassin, the Amber Spirit. They do take a little bit of finesse, but when you play those heroes right, they can really pack a punch. Oh, absolutely. And I love really trying to dig deep in some of these bans and trying to analyze what exactly the game plan is going to be formulated here for NewBee. I mean, when I see someone like Ember Spirit, I know they're fearsome maybe of the heavy cleave and the sleight of fist he can bring to the table, so they could be considering something like a Naga if it's something up their sleeves, someone who has heavy illusions to work with. But you're right, I would agree that they're looking to have a strong presence, especially in the mid lane if they're looking to wipe out that Ember Spirit, but definitely the Razor as well. And for Rabbit, you know, when he doesn't get his prize Centaur War Runner, they love to fall back on a Bat Rider for his offlane presence, who's also available. This is, of course, if it's not going to be a Void in the offlane. He's kind of an ambidextrous hero, if you will, and we see him all over the place, so that's also still a plausible effect right there. CDEC, they get rid of that Invoker. They got rid of him immediately. They didn't even wait a moment to make sure he was banned out. And then they also get rid
of the Sand King, which I know we saw earlier today, ESL 1, a fantastic event, and in the hands of a top-notch player like FY, you can see the utility there and how much he can bring to the table. So no surprises why sometimes this hero just needs to be out of the match. Nature's Prophet is going to be the third grab here for CDEC, so you get a little bit of that funky flavor, the side pushing, you know, the presence elsewhere, maybe looking to divert attention away from who their late presence could be. And NewBee fire back. They get a hold of Vengeful Spirit, who's been quickly escalating as far as a top-notch support. She already had fantastic utility with her Wave of Terror. The minus armor's great. Throw a medallion on the lady, and man, you could do Roche pretty damn quick. And of course, that swap sets up fantastic setups there. You know, and also being able to go through BKB works so nicely. And you already have a Faceless Void on your team. You know, maybe you can even save an ally from getting accidentally caught out, or looking to set up, you know, someone into an unpredictable position for the easy chronosphere there. So I really like it, and you know what? We'll have to see where this had to go. We need some late game presence from both teams, though.
Reserve time.
Yeah. But the Vengeful Spirit is really cool because she can roam around nicely with the Skywrath Mage. You're going to be finding early kills all the time with that combo. The Venge and the Skywrath are going to be able to roam on mid very frequently, help out Moo, make sure that he wins his lane guaranteed. The Lich might make that a little more difficult since he can continuously sacrifice it and make the lane a bit of a wash. But as it is, there's going to be a lot of kills between Sky and Venge alone. And then when the Void jumps in with Chronosphere, obviously, that's going to give more opportunities. So essentially, by picking Venge and Skywrath, you're forcing the Rubik to play a little reactively, and honestly, that's what LGDcdec in general don't have is reactive heroes. Like we talked about the Stampede, but once you're chronoed, you're in there for good. You're not getting disrupted. You're not getting swapped out. I really fear that every single Chronosphere is going to net a kill against LGDcdec.
Yeah, because even heroes that like favorably pick up a BKB or some sort of survivability, there's just no answer to that Chronosphere. I mean, it was nerfed down a bit in the recent patch. Its size taken down about 50 units, and the vision was dramatically reduced to the point where if you manage to catch someone on the cusp of the Chronosphere, but they're in that fog situation, you're going to have a hard time even seeing where they are. So that's diverted a bit, but we still have seen many teams use it and use it good. And together with Skywrath Mage, anyone you manage to lock down with Skywrath right there, it's going to be a heavy amount of burst. And the way that CDEC have already been drafting Rubik, Nature's Prophet, Lich, they are all very susceptible to getting caught out and instantly taking apart, only Centaur Warrunner really being the kind of beefcake on their team. So I'm getting more intrigued by what they're going to try to pick for their #1 role here to try to be able to survive. I mean, I've seen people answer back with like a carry Wraith King. That's a, you know, a beefcake kind of a hero who, if he does get caught out, he could still live to fight on another day, and it can end up blowing back in the face of Faceless Void. But from outside of that, you might need to think of someone who could be very, very elusive. And, you know, it's kind of rattling my mind. On the side of NewBee, they need to, well, this could obviously give away what position Void will be if they're going to put him as an offlaner. But now a Wind Ranger grabs someone else who can be played as an offlaner, but as well as a mid lane. I've seen more mid lane from this hero more recently than in the past, and you know, she has a very high ceiling. If you get her the right items, you get her some big damage, she could definitely bring the pain, and she's already elusive enough as it is with that wind run. I like this pick. It's spicy, and you know what? I'm a big fan of gingers.
5 seconds remaining.
Well, Moo is looking pretty good with the Wind Ranger. I mean, he's won at least 2 out of the 3 games that he's played competitively with the hero, and this is a hero that I think is really strong in the metagame in general. I feel this is a kind of immortality meta, a evasion meta, in the sense that if you don't have anything that's going to counteract you, you can do so much work. Like, obviously, there's still a lot of nuke flying about. The Wrath of Nature, the Centaur, the Lich will be able to burst her down in a magical sense, but if she doesn't get hit by that full volley of spells, just one wind run, she's going to be staying alive through the fight, maybe getting a mechanism off if that's the item progression she goes for, and she's going to be able to do so much work. I've seen some great Wind Ranger play from a number of really talented professional players, and Moo is towards the top of my list when it comes down to heroes you can just trust with high utility and high expectations. It really comes down to him being a really skilled player and one of the best in the business when it comes to solo mid.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm really excited as well, but you know, you never can always theory craft this. It's a new patch, it's a new day, it's a new meta, and you know, they could always kind of flip the script, call an audible, shove Void in the mid lane, throw Wind Ranger back to her old off lane days. Hell, we could even see a core Vengeful Spirit. I mean, I've tried to just, you know, dissect a draft to the point where it's like, I am certain I know how it's going to work, but we'll see something absolutely crazy. I mean, just last night we were seeing Timbersaw back in the mid lane again. You know, we've seen Goblak's team just bring back Nyx Assassin and just totally change everything all up. But here we go. There it is, the core late gamer, a Spectre. And, you know, I was hoping for someone to be a little bit elusive and hard to catch out, and I think Spectre kind of fits that role very nicely, given that she has the opportunity to build up a lot of farm throughout the game and get to that pinnacle point where you see that Radiance, you see that extra bit of meat, and we'll be able to rip apart some of these weaker supports. Skywrath Mage, it's going to be a nightmare for this guy once she does get a hold of that Radiance. And I've seen so many comebacks and just other Summit qualifiers where teams on the back of a Spectre, just the potential to maybe even look into the days of seeing a refresher where you can haunt, you know, the buyback haunt, get back into the fight and live to go another day can just be the crucial strike you need to start taking it into the base. So this is a hero that has tremendous comeback potential. And well, look at that. Just speaking of the guy, Timbersaw back at it, and it was just last night in the hands of KYXY. We saw a dominating Timbersaw performance, and that's what you need. A Timbersaw that can snowball out of control and set the pace and not allow someone like Spectre to get the opportunity to farm up and be a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, and you called it, man. It's going to be a role switcheroo from what we would have expected as 6.81. It's going to be How on the Faceless Void, so he'll be carrying it up while Rabbit takes Wind Ranger to the offlane, so Moo can take that solo mid Timbersaw. So it's very interesting, but I think it will be very favorable for them. What he can accomplish with this hero will be exciting to see. And yeah, I mean, both sides have some pretty cool lineups here, but I would feel so much better if LGDcdec's lineup had a silencer instead of a Lich. It wasn't banned out or anything, and I don't really see the Lich accomplishing much here. Maybe if Rubik steals the Chronosphere, you can actually throw a Chain Frost inside of that, but otherwise, your opposition is going to be moving around too quick. With Wind Run, with natural movement speed, with this Timber Chain, they're going to be bouncing around all over the place, and it's going to be hard to guarantee that Chain Frost multiple bounces. Battle. So we'll see if he can accomplish a lot, but like I was saying, a Silencer plus Stampede, that's and the fact that it also combos with the global strat of the Nature Prophet and Spectre, I would feel so much more confident in that kind of a lineup than this one. But we'll see what Q or HHH has in store for us on this Lich, and maybe I'll be eating my words halfway through this game.
Yeah, I mean, but I absolutely agree with you on that. Lich, it's very situational kind of a hero. If there's going to be big team fights, he'll be right there to help out. Maybe a Death Prophet on the other team. You love to have the extra armor, you know, for the push, because now you can put it on the towers that can help out. But I'm not seeing a whole lot of push as it is on NewBee, so I'm really curious as well to see what this Lich is going to be able to contribute to the game. But without further ado, we've hopped into it. These are going to be 4 best-of-1 tonight, or 4 best-of-1 games tonight. And starting out here, I'll just go ahead and roll through with the introductions on your NewBee squad, the TI4 champions. It's Sansheng up here playing your Skywrath Mage support. Banana right behind on your Vengeful Spirit. Nearby, it's going to be How on the Faceless Void. In your mid lane, it looks like it actually might be Rabbit playing the Wind Ranger. And along the bottom, it's Moo playing what could be a solo safe lane Timbersaw. The audibles don't stop, Blaze. They are still switching all over the place.
Yeah, it's really hard to make the call here. We'll see actually a lift up come out onto Moo. He's probably going to have to go for the Timber Chain very early on. If he can survive the combo at all, we'll go for the Timber Chain, but it's too late.
That did not take too long for a quick first blood, and he tried to get that Timber Chain underway, get it leveled up, and get out of there, but it wasn't enough. So much lockdown already, and wow, CDEC immediately strike first. And, well, Blaze, if you wouldn't mind doing the honors, tell me about this CDEC squad who just happened to get that first blood.
All right, well, looking over the mid lane to start things off, it's going to be maybe running on the Spectre here. Going to be farming up with a 4-man shield start on the solo mid. He's going to be supported by the Lich, who was first to go into Frostblast instead of Sacrifice for that first blood, but well worth it. That's Q, also known as HHH. Looking over at the top lane, don't want to go too far, since we probably are going to get more action in the mid, but it is going to be 3-3-3 running on that Nature's Prophet, just getting a 1v1 matchup against How for the moment. And then down bottom, it's a duo. Garter is going to be running on the Rubik, and then it is going to be XH, or Jiahong, going to be running on that Centaur. Yeah,
I had to ask about who that was. You know, I'm a little rusty on my China as well as my C, but they're making another go on Moo. Telekinesis Hoof Stomp here. Can he get away? Nice Timber Chain. Even at level 1, it's able to get him that extra reach to get back, but the pressure continues. He has a lot of regen to work with, though, but he's forced to already pull out the salve. 8 Tangos still in reserve just in case, but already it's going to be a bit of a rough, shaky start for Moo. And for a hero that needs to snowball and get up that CS, get a hold of Arcanes really quickly, it's going to be a bit of a shaky start, and we'll have to see if he can, you know, build through that and try to adhere. As, you know, I would imagine that maybe Rubik will decide to deter from the lane and go elsewhere, but, you know, we'll have to see. So it's going to be a dual lane matchup against Rabbit on the Wind Ranger, but you know, maybe Spectre is like a little out of her comfort zone. It's not very often that you have the opportunity to go toe-to-toe with the Ginger one, so maybe they're just trying to see how to make it work. Lich is right there, does get his level 2, and is starting to put that sacrifice to work already.
Yeah, we're just going to see so much activity from this Vengeful Spirit and the Skyrite Mage that pretty much any situation that doesn't involve at least 2 people in the mid lane, it's going to be a suicide lane for whatever hero they brought there. So, like, maybe you could try to sack the Centaur there because he has a lot of HP to chew through. But in this position, as long as the Lich keeps the lane under control, maybe the Spectre can do okay. Down bottom, there's a lot of damage coming out into Moo, and there might be another kill on him. Yes, the Fable will finish it. Usually you see in this situation the Centaur taking way too much damage against his Whirling Death, which reduces his hefty starting strength. But in the end, he's just able to get the better of the trades with this level advantage, and Rubik comes in for the finishing blow. Yeah,
it was very convenient that Rubik happened to get a haste rune, and I watched him the whole way. He was hustling. He's like, I see blood. I got it. I want it right now, baby. And he ran all the way down there and got a hold of it. Before I could even blink, it's Nature's Prophet who TP's over and quickly snags up the courier. Nice throwback there. skirmishes, man, they are off to a very nice start, taking out not 1 but 2 kills, and now we're moving the courier. This is going to be a little troublesome from Rabbit, who is already at the advantage of CS, but that's going to put him back a bit. No more easy sort of bottle crowing for him.
Yeah, no, he is definitely going to be having to commit to the runes, and he's going to need the help of Vengeful Spirit and Skyrite to do that. But they're kind of uncertain about how the lanes are going right now because they don't want to leave the bottom, they don't want to leave Moo, but Rabbit needs help as well. He's under a lot of pressure here. The dagger will come through, but it looks like Telekinesis will be just out of range. They can Frost Blast it to try, but they're body blocking each other, and there's a nice Shackle Shot from Rabbit.
Doesn't stop Lich, though. Oh, they're not going to commit to this in the staircase and keep on going. Rabbit's going to quickly bottle up a bit more, but will live. So nice, you know, sense to know the right direction, runs up to the north to avoid any additional trouble, but yeah, just out of range. The Rubik, unfortunately, wasn't going to grab her with the Telekinesis, which could have secured the kill for them. But touching base with top lane, this has been the quietest lane thus far, with the exception of Nature's Prophet, you know, hopping about and getting a hold of that courier. But it is Hao who's had the easiest time. He's 26 and 11, really taking it with the denies right now on this Nature's Prophet. But he's having a really solid start. It's the one lane that NewBee right now are really making it work for him because bottom and middle are struggling a little bit, especially that courier was taken down, and Moo, who had fallen numerous times already, 0 and 3 on this Timbersaw, now has a little bit of extra aid, the Vengeful Spirit Banana and Sansheng as well by his side in case they try to get a little extra aggressive. But on the opposite side, you have your Centaur, who's getting some really nice farm. He's already got Tranquils ready to go and 800 gold. He would love to blitz on forward and get a hold of that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, I'm almost as impressed as how well Hao's controlling the top lane as how many deaths have come out on the Timbersaw. Like, I almost think it evens out because, like, I know the Faceless Void has a damage advantage, that's quite clear, but to win out the lane this hard, that the Nature's Prophet only has 12 total CS, 11 last hits, 1 deny, like, he has no stake in this lane at all. Hao is just taking complete control of it, and with the Chronosphere coming online soon, he can even look to rotate, so this is just pure domination. While NewBee looked to stop the bleeding across the other parts of the map, he's just had the run-of-the-mill in that 1v1 matchup, so that's really impressive to me.
Yeah, it definitely is. I do also want to put on a note, remind everyone that if there's weird audible sounds or audio problems, actually top lane, before we get into kind of notes like that, we have a note to make as Hao is taking it to him. Get the luck right there as he does rip apart the Mushroom Man, the Nature's Prophet here in the top, and he does bring NewBee onto the scoreboard. 1-3 make it right now, and he is really putting on a clinic in this top lane, but Team NewBee need this right now for this early laning phase, and they're making it count. But from what I was saying, bottom lane doesn't stop. I can't even need a moment here. They're going on in. Centaur eating big damage. Rotations to come as well. Nature's Prophet back from the dead. Moves on in and quickly gets a kill for himself on Banana. So nice jump back right here for skirmishes. 4-1 make it right now. And here comes Sansheng. Rotates in once more. And they also bring in Rabbit for this one. But they're not going to be able to catch up. skirmishes has already retreated out. They take their nice kill and they pull on back. So nice switch around there for skirmishes. But yeah, for my third time now. Remember, everyone, we are connected to the Perfect World server, so there could be occasional lag here and there. I'm sure the audio inside Dota TV can be a bit finicky as well with that kind of connection, but hopefully you can bear with us. If it's something I can resolve, I'll look into it. But for now, hang out with us over on twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit if you want more better quality, I guess you could say. But regardless, Hao still king right now, 45 CS. The next in line is your Spectre 26. Mid lane, though, they're going up and above. They're trying to get Rabbit, but here comes Sansheng. Throws out the Arcane Bolt. They slow him down. They silence him out. There's a latch. You will not catch, but it doesn't matter. Power shot to follow up, and it's Vengeful Spirit. Banana picks up the last hit, and NewBee pick up another one for themselves, making it 2 and 4.
Dire's top tower is under
You
attack.
usually look at a Spectre lineup and you just have to say, okay, as long as they're like drawing even or maybe even a little bit ahead, they're perfectly fine on the laning stage. But I am really scared of how big Hao's gonna get this early on. Like his GPM is easily ahead of the Centaur, who had a really good laning phase down bottom. He is miles ahead of the Spectre as well, 50% in fact, as far as GPM goes. So he is just trucking along. He's going to have a huge amount of gold momentum. Probably Mask of Man is next to pick up. And yeah, I really don't know GDec's answer for this. Obviously, the Stampede should speed them in to try to go for the kill, but he's got Banana to back him up. One stun, he should be able to time walk out, but we'll test that theory now.
They want to get Hao. They know that they need to take him down. They get the telekinesis. They commit the haunt as well. He does leap out. They anticipate it, but a nice defensive chrono will stop him, but that's not going to stop Nature's Prophet. TP's in, but he eats the magic missile, and he's going to get away. So now they focus on Banana, the weaker support, and they're like, damn you! We wanted to get the Faceless Void. So you got to go. But regardless, a very great sacrificial move from Banana right there to allow Hao to make that escape.
Yeah, exactly. That's all that it needed to do is pop the Chrono, pop the stun, and that was a huge rotation. That was everybody. They popped the Haunt, they popped the Stampede, and they brought all 5 heroes, and they didn't get the kill that they wanted. I mean, the Venge is okay, but the Void is the big boy that they were looking for, and he's just going to keep farming up. So we'll see him maybe rotate into a safer position than up on that top lane now that he knows that there's aggressors. But look at this. They're going for a smoke without the Chronosphere. Smoking in, just looking for a big stun initiation from Banana, and obviously the Void will be there with the time walk and the right clicks.
I mean, GDec might also know, hey, you know, Chronosphere's on cooldown. I don't suspect that Hao would look to get too aggressive, and it could be a nice surprise play here, especially on maybe in the mid lane. Rabbit's playing a bit aggressive, maybe looking to bait something out if someone is to come in, and there's your smoke duo coming in, and they're actually going to swing around the backhand side, but you have to be cautious. There's GDec in the woods, folks. Ooh, a courier as well. That's pretty tempting, but they're not going to bite. But meanwhile, they jump up to the north instead, and they quickly take down that Rubik. They quickly catch out. So, smoke gank successful, if I say so myself, and they'll quickly pull out before they catch anyone else. Looking to swing in from behind, though, is Hao. They see Maybe right there, but Maybe doesn't want anything to do with this, and now pressure will continue on this tier 1. Fortification was already used, so this secures your first tower of the game in the hands of NewBee.
Yeah, and they're up against the Nature's Prophet, so the fact that they haven't taken any real damage on any of their tier 1s, they've taken at most a third of a single tower's HP, and the fact that they've gotten it down in the mid lane, they're feeling very confident right now. We do have the blink up on the Centaur, though, so we'll see what Jahan can do with that. The Stampede, the blink, the stun could be enough to net multiple kills, but for now, at least they're kind of staying in a position where they always have they're using the buddy system. They always have somebody to bail the other person out. If there's somebody like Sunshine got blink stunned on the mid, then Banana would be there with the magic missile. Up top, if Hao got some pressure on him, he has that Chrono again, but we also have this Rabbit Shackle Shot, which he has been prioritizing over more points of Windrun or Focus Fire. So as far as the rune spawns, we are going to be seeing Rabbit pick up a haste rune, which should be huge here, but how?
Yep, Centaur wants to put that blink dagger to use. They jump on in, they commit to the hunt. Will Hao get away from this one? Nice lead to the low ground. Can they catch up? They can't. Where's the dagger? It's there, but it doesn't matter. He sees, hey, convenient Nature's Prophet. Let's go ahead and take this guy out. And they get it done, but they do ultimately lose Hao in the end. Finally, the blink comes out, and look going to the high ground. Nice latch up and above. Timbersaw goes all the way over and beyond, but that's a platter up and escalated for a free takedown of Spectre, and this is going south real quick, but here comes the Lich! Chain Frost on the nice congested group, takes down Vengeful Spirit. Wind Ranger backs up and gets in a new position, catches out. The Shackle Shot not going to latch, but it will not matter. They jump on in, they burst down. It ends up being a 3-for-2, more of an advantage for NewBee. Would have loved to have been able to quickly take down that Nature's Prophet and get the hell out of there, but GDec make a muscle for it, but it's still NewBee ends up coming back as they take down both those supports. Yeah,
that was obviously not what they bargained for when they jumped into it. Losing the Spectre in particular is probably the biggest deal here, the fact that Maybe isn't sitting away and farming. Usually you want your Spectre to stay out of the fight and only haunt in for a guaranteed kill. But the past 2 haunts, it's been Maybe who just really wants that Void to go down and wants to contribute everything he can for it. But although they get the Void, they lose a lot more. Oh, okay. Centaur not going to get stunned up by the Venge. I think there was an opening there on bottom lane, but while they don't have the Chronosphere, they're not going to get a little bit overzealous.
Their comrades were not quite close enough to commit the swap on that kind of a play. You know, Centaur's also a big boy, so it would have taken a bit of muscle to try to take him down. That could have left an opportunity for SeaDec to make a proper rotation in. So they'll take what they can, and this is going to be another tier 2. Lift was already used, so it's down. Another tower in the books here for NewBee. Looked like a struggling start for them, but quickly climbing up the net worth here, about 2K in their advance, while SeaDec are still trying to get objectives done. Top lane, they're trying to commit out for this tier 1, but we already have a rotation in. How? He's got 10 more seconds and a chronosphere ready to go, and it looks like they're not going to be able to take this tier 1 without a fight that NewBee would love to take here. And Moo is also in the action. He had a really rough start on that bottom lane. He was 0-3 at the start of this one, but has pulled together a level 8. He's got to earn his arcane boots. I imagine we'll start building towards a bloodstone if he's going to go with that cookie cutter Timbersaw build.
Now, in this position, Hao actually picked up an Invis Rune. Oh, they do see it now with the Haunt down bottom.
Yep, they're going on Sanshang, who gets sprouted and does TP out, so very nice. And meanwhile, they're going to turn their attention towards Banana. Can he split? No, he cannot. Gets daggered right in the backhand side. The long ball dagger coming out from Spectre gets it done. And, well, Hao, who has an Invis Rune, coming in, would love to get some redemption here. Sees 2, Chronos 2. And he's kind of second-guessing going for a commitment as he hops and bops back and forth. Banana's here nearby, but now he gets sprouted up, will leap away. So not really the best Chrono to get something done right there. Maybe he felt that him and Rabbit could get something, but it's not going to lead to anything. They both pull back, and SeaDec, who also have rotated a couple over down here, are not going to catch anyone on the way out.
Yeah, Rabbit really wasn't in position to get the Shackle Shot follow-through that I think he was looking for there, so unfortunately not going to be a beneficial one, but it doesn't turn against them. They can just back off, go to farming for 90 seconds, they'll be back in the game. He just really want to make use of that Invis Rune before it expired, and in the end they just come up a little empty-handed. But we're going to see smoke rotation coming up from SeaDec. They definitely need to make things keep happening across the map to let it create space for maybe to farm, but we'll see if they get the opening here on Banana.
NewBee looking to get the 3rd tier 1 tower, but here we go. Oh, Nature's Prophet goes right into the fray and throws out the Sprout, but meanwhile behind you see Banana get caught down from Centaur, but I'm not going to leave here as they're still putting pressure on Nature's Prophet. He does manage to slip out, but now not going to be so lucky is your Skywrath Mage. Maybe caught right in the middle, but the power shot takes out Rubik. Nice negative earn. Flies out on Spectre, trying to soak it up with the Stampede return, and the Chain Frost will seal the deal and make it a double for the Lich one. Wow, nice power shot coming in from Rabbit. This guy's Robin Hood catching him out with that one, and man, still heavy octane battle happening at the top lane. Slight edge, I would say, for SeaDec as they also deny the tower there.
Yeah, that definitely helps out a lot. And the Nature's Prophet didn't get just insta-gived by the combo. I think the Skywrath Mage is a little slow in the ultimate, but in general, the fact that the Spectre is forced to come to all these fights so frequently, I think is still a kind of pseudo-victory for NewBee. Like, obviously, I would definitely give SeaDec the upper hand in that specific exchange, but I really think maybe his mentality needs to shift. Avoid the fights at all costs, haunt in only when absolutely necessary, and just have your teammates retreat with Stampede, because there's no way that you're going to be taking fights against the mechanism now that's up on Windranger, and it's just going to get worse as the Void gets farmed from Midas and from getting a couple kills in the fights, and the Spectre just continues to fall behind.
So over the side of SeaDec on checking in with some of the supports, both of them have a nice fair share to farm. I mean, Rubik does have his Arcanes, and Lich, who has picked up a staff here. I mean, I'm just going to throw it out that potentially a Force Staff that could aid out, but we'll see. It could also be a Yule's. Yule's works pretty nicely against the Faceless Void. Hell, it could even be an Agnum Scepter, but these are just potential options for your Lich. We'll have to see where he decides to build this one out. I mean, I don't know if you have any early wages. It's not like we get to see a Lich build up too much gold too early.
Yeah, it's a tough call here. I would probably say the Force Staff is the best to help out against the Skywrath Mage in particular. Like, it's obviously not going to do anything against Chronosphere, but if somebody's hit by a Shackle Shot or slowed and going to get hit by the Mystic Flare, then they need the Force Staff to bail somebody out. So I think that would probably be the best course of action. So Force Staff gaming for SeaDec is it's going to be Centaur as well to build it up, but none of them are going to be going for mech, which is a bit intriguing. Normally that would be one of the primary items I'd see on Lich, and it's not like there's an AA on the other team. Maybe they worry that he won't have great opportunity to help out his allies with the said heal, but regardless, we'll have to see if it works out to their benefit as bottom lane. NewBee's adding pressure on this tier 2. No fortification now available. They're going to take it right to it, and Rabbit is unloading right now with his ultimate. And Moo's here to clear out the creeps. How? If he can get the last hit, that would be all for the better
And we'll see if it goes in his pocket. It will not. It goes instead to Rabbit, who I think is your next best bet right there. He's going to be able to have a high ceiling to become a nuisance later on. He is the mech holder for Team NewBee. And with Phase Boots and a Nully already there, we'll see where he takes it out. Maelstrom seems to be a popular grab for some of these core Wind Rangers, being able to add that with her ultimate. But we'll have to see where it goes. The Force Staff is one of the old tried and trues as well.
Yeah, I think that the new Wind Ranger builds definitely should be revolving around Blink Dagger and Maelstrom. Just getting in a position for good shackle shots and then unloading with Focus Fire and the lightning procs. It's incredible amounts of damage you can bring out there, but obviously there are a lot of ways to go with it, and we'll see exactly what route he wants to go. But the fact that he is actually topping the net worth chart impresses me the most. He's actually out-farming his buddy Hao here. As far as CS goes, Hao's still the top dog, but just being involved in so many kills. 3, 0, and 3. This Wind Ranger is getting stacked very quickly. So nice to see that they're kind of spreading the wealth and making it so that they can really take it to CDEC. Now we do have the Force Staff up on Centaur, a little bit more maneuverability here. Also, the Blade Mail came up for the Nature's Prophet, but we'll see if he can actually reflect a lot of the damage onto like the Timber Saw during Chakram, onto the Skywrath during the Mystic Flare, and how effective that's actually going to be. Beyond that, just some great right-click, and yeah, this is hopefully going to be enough to put them back into it. But until maybe really gets going, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, that's the troublesome thing, is maybe is nowhere near the quota you like to be with this Spectre. I mean, being what looks like 4th on net worth right here, below your own Centaur Warrunner. He has got a ways to go if he wants to get a hold of even the start of a Sacred Relic. You know, and this is not the best timing for it, so they're definitely going to need a big turnaround to get that rubber band effect into play. And they smoke out here with Centaur leading the front and their duo of supports with their ultimates ready to go. Rubik doesn't have anything stolen here, and also on the side, it is going to be the Force Staff grab there for your Wind Ranger, as now they're looking. They would love to get pressure here. Moo is lingering nearby behind the tower, and Centaur's like, well, I'll kind of divert this creep wave, and maybe we can go for a push. But little they know, the cavalry's coming in. Leading out the front is Hao, and he's got a chrono in his pocket ready to pull out.
Yeah, we'll see the TP coming in, and
all is going to break loose. Does he spend it here? He does. He needs to get something with it, and he wants Lich. They followed up with the 1-2 punch of that Skywrath Mage.
They got Chrono Chain for us. They need the Lich back into it, so no.
He steals the Chrono, and they use it on Rabbit, but they don't have the right-click power, and that mech helps out in getting him alive. And now, unfortunately, NewBee looking to turn. They got the tower on their side, and they're going to look to push them back. But Centaur jumps in. Tries to slash the desperation swap. It helps. Centaur goes down. Oh, the right clicks, though, coming out from Nature's Prophet, who pops his Blade Mail. And they're going to also take down Skywrath Mage. Rabbit, though, also diverting attention and cleaning up here. Dominating. And now they're going to turn their attention on Maybe. Maybe cannot go down. This would be devastating to the farm that he's already lackluster for. But Skywrath, back from the dead, tries to take out Nature's Prophet, who does get away, but not so lucky is Maybe. And it's Rabbit. One of the top-notch players that many consider one of the best in China right now, cleaning house and putting on a clinic with this Wind Ranger. 5-0. My goodness, this guy can play.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's a really tough fight to take there, honestly. Obviously, the buyback committed really sealed the deal, but in the end, the Nature's Prophet getting the TP back and the death of the Tier 1 tower in the hands of the Dire, I don't feel that it's enough. Right now, the Wind Ranger, the Void are getting so damn big, and we see Maybe's net worth not only stagnating but falling. Like, he's actually worse off than he was like 4 minutes ago, and you hate to see that as a Spectre, but it's true, and he's just continuing to fall behind. I think he's stocking up this much unreliable gold for like a Radiance or something. Like, I don't see why he wouldn't be spending at least chunks of it towards another item, but right now, just like he sells an item, buys a Quelling Blade, and yeah, he's in farm mode. He wants to go for something big, and something big is definitely what they need to get back in this game, but I just don't know if he's going to find it. You know, all these fights continuing to happening, and more importantly, the fact that he continues to join in on them.
Considering that they hadn't got really much as far as towers, meanwhile, they're going on top lane. They want to get home. They're committing a lot for it. How? Just like that, taken down, and the Time Walk is going to be stolen right there at the end. He was bursted apart without even a chance of coming away. Spectre moves on in, was hoping to get a hold of someone else, can't, and they will go back, finish what they started here on this Tier 1 tower, and they'll be able to get it. So, we say that they need something, they get something, and it's Hao, and it definitely works out to their benefit. But meanwhile, mid lane, there's Rabbit unloading on this Tier 2 tower, jumping from Centaur, stuns him in place with the hoof stomp, and he's going to try to get away. There's your Time Walk going to work. Telekinesis And he will get saved temporarily from Banana right there with the swap. And I don't know if it was too necessary. Nice latch. Catches on 2, but here comes Lich. Mind you, he has no Chain Frost available. Nature's Prophet also gets in. Tries to make a move there on Sansheng, but they can't quite commit. They don't really have the proper follow-up to keep on moving in. Centaur did not have the blink available, and NewBee do pull back. So they pretty much just get some extra bits of damage, bringing that tower down to about 3rd life. And they step on back from that one. The SeaDec struggling here to claw themselves back into this one. But before action broke out, I wanted to say I was surprised the net worth is not as in favor of NewBee as I was expecting, considering they have been taking some big fights and also getting more towers, while finally SeaDec get their 2nd tier 1. You know, it's still not that far out there.
Yeah, I mean, 2 tier 1s in a row back-to-back, along with the fact that Sansheng bought back, and that will be the big reduction of net worth that you're looking at, that big dip right there. So I think just the fact that all 3 of those things happen at once is really what's showing it. But yeah, overall, across the course of the game, the fact that they're only maybe 1,500 ahead right now, it definitely shows that SeaDec are still in this. They have a long road ahead of them to get maybe in a fighting position, but at the very least, they're doing a lot better when it comes down to like their support over the Skywrath. Both Lich and Rubik doing a lot better than him, and obviously like Moo's not been doing that hot. Like he's done okay, but he's going and still looking to transition to Bloodstone gradually. He's not like getting it within the next 5 minutes. Or actually, whoa. Sorry, Courier. He was playing around, dropping items on the ground a lot, so I thought that he had only like multiple pieces of it, but the whole darn thing.
Yeah, he was like juggling the items around, accidentally made the arcanes again, then had to throw it down, and then this little treant came by, and he's like, God damn it, I'm just trying to make my Bloodstone right here. And he does finally manage to pull it together. It's in reasonable time, but I agree. It's not the Timbersaw snowball effect that we've been looking for, but still, it doesn't change the fact that this hero can still offer a potent ability to clear out waves and be able to deal out the heavy burst, because, you know, with Centaur on the other team, actually they swap out right now. They're making it go on Lich, who gets forced back into the fight right there. And there's your urn. They're trying to blast him down. Skywrath Mage, jump on forward. How? Not looking to commit the Chronosphere just yet. Lich will go down. No Chrono needed. The Haunt return right there. They see Spectre, and they go. And they pull out the Mystic Flare combo, and she cannot stand to that. And she immediately falls. So all for Banana, and well worth it as they take down that Spectre. They see Centaur here on the high ground. There's your latch. It catches on the many trees nearby, and they're going to go for the low ground and try to take him down. He is a beefy boy, but he's eating heavy damage. There's that chakram going to work, and my God. Make it 3 for 1. Rabbit gets stunned up. Rubik trying to get away. Hao says, you are not going to make it back home, my friend. But nope, he takes... Oh, no. Oh, Rabbit. Rabbit is like, nope, you thought you had a moment there to get away, my friend, with our stolen time walk. But I am right there once again with another fantastic shackle shot. Make it 4 for 1 and put it in the books.
Yeah. The 3-3 avoids and joining the fight, so obviously he's not adding to the slaughter that just happened there, but he's not getting the farm the way that they need him to really be the big playmaker. Like, getting the Orchid is cool, but they're already going to BKB up on the Void. Wind Ranger can manage with the Force Staff and the Mechanism, even when she is silenced. And, yeah, I mean, Boo's certainly tanky with this 11-charge Bloodstone now, so it's not really going to be the best timed Orchid, nor is it going to be the most impactful one. They still are looking at maybe, and his gold is finally getting up there towards the Sacred Relic, but we're 25 minutes into the game.
Yeah, this is well past the marker of what you're trying to do, and he is just reaching to finish this item out, and you got to wonder that by that point, it might be too little too late. But who knows? I've seen crazier comebacks almost every day of casting. There's got to be at least one game now where there's one team manages to pull it together. Maybe the team that's well in the head just takes a little too long to try to finish it out and put a lid on it. And then that other team manages to creep on in on the back of one of these kind of heroes, like your Spectres, like your Nagas, and they get it back. So don't count SeaDec out yet, and they're looking to try to change the pace of this one. They got a smoke happening here. They're in enemy territory. They're going to see if they can catch anyone out. Nearby is Sansheng. And if he does not time this one out, he'll get spotted. Quick telekinesis, stampede, jump and slam. And even with Nature's Prophet right there with the ultimate, he has no chance. So they're going to try to get away with what they got. But NewBee says, you will not take our Skywrath Mage. Not for free, my friends. We're going to keep her in hot pursuit here. Oh, Rubik takes that Timber Chain. This guy's great at stealing escape mechanisms. It puts it right to use to get away. And ultimately, it will be a 1-0 there for SeaDec. So it's not the prize core pickoff they probably would have wanted, but still, it's something. And it's creating a bit of space for their Spectre to farm elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, and we're going to see this Desolator Focus Fire come out from Rabbit right onto Roshan. They were already pinging it out thinking maybe the Nature's Prophet was jumping on it.
Oh,
the
man.
Ice Armor helps out with that, but look how fast it melts by the hands of NewBee. Like, this thing's already gone.
Roshan has fallen
And the DD rune too.
DD. Jesus Christ, this kid Rabbit hits like a truck right now. And it is not going to get any better with the mobility of that Force Staff, and we've seen the shackle shots continuously be pulled out in crucial moments. This is becoming quite the scary Wind Ranger. When you already also have a Faceless Void on your team who's farming up rather nicely, he did go for the committed Midas build, so while that does set him back just a hair, look at the gold he's already accumulated right now with that BKB already online, and it's a fresh, pristine 10-second BKB yet to even be used, and now about 2k gold. He's also going to be a scary force. So you got two of these prime cores really beginning to come into their own on the side of NewBee, while Spectre is still trying to get to the point where she can just get one of her basic items underway to try to be a big factor. And same goes for Nature's Prophet. Finally does get a hold of the Orchid, but those BKBs and that elusive behavior on the side of NewBee is just going to be real troublesome for him, and it doesn't look like he's trying to do any sort of heavy side pushing. I mean, this is something, but not that rat style that we've come to know.
Sure. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see the Wind Ranger go for an Aghanim Scepter next. With the Desolator on all the utility damage she's already picked up, she definitely has what she needs. It's kind of a backbone build to get that next big pickup. And the big thing right there is the reduction of cooldown. The fact that it goes down to a 15-second cooldown means she can just hit it on every tower she wants. She can siege away, and also she can obviously still contribute it to the team fight. But one thing that kind of surprises me about Hao's build is how limited he's been in increased attack speed. Right now he has plus 77 when treads are in agility, so that's not bad. But when you compare it to Mask of Madness, which gives 100 by itself, it's definitely slower attacks than what you normally see from Void, especially with Ice Armor added on top. And I think the reason for this decision is just because of how much incidental damage is flying about. You got the Chain Frost, you might get hit by a Double Edge, a Wrath of Nature, now the Radiant Spectre. There is a lot of damage you're going to be taking even in a good chrono. So I can understand the reserved progression, but it's waiting until this Maelstrom comes out for how to really be dishing out the damage.
There will be a point here with the Aegis, slowly dwindling on time that they will look to take a fight, and as long as they can execute properly, it's really going to be finicky here for CDEC. I mean, the Chronosphere, and heaven forbid Rabbit be nearby with the ultimate ready to go in that Desolator. Anyone inside could be easily obliterated. So, very scary stuff. CDEC, it's going to be on them to have proper positioning, try to not be caught too clustered up and getting too selfish on trying to get any sort of baited takedown. But there it is, the Maelstrom, now complete on Hao. It just continues to get a little more troublesome. Now your most significant lead of the game in favor of NewBee, pushing past the 5K mark. And, well, we were waiting for the moment they were looking to take a fight, and this might be it. They smoke up, and they head right into enemy territory. They're going to be just behind where CDEC is, but they're looking to maybe coming in from behind. This is going to be a clash here momentarily, probably led out by Hao. The first opportunity he gets to jump on in. Nope, there's the Haunt. It's going to actually scout him on out here. And there we go. They're jumping on back on forward. Rabbit gets caught in this one, but they go for maybe. There's your Mystic Flare burst. They quickly take him down. Rabbit's a low mechanism, though. Going to save him, but Hoof Stomp is going to be right there. Good follow-up, but regardless, they end up falling. Rubik steals the Chrono, catches out Banana with it. Nature's Prophet trying to take advantage of it. The throw up and down from Rubik, but Hao is still full force and resource, ready to make a fight happen right here. And they're going to try to kite him out, but here comes Moo flying in from the southwest side, and he makes damage, and he makes him hit hard as he moves on forward. Even Centaur trying to get away from this one, but nope, not going to get away. Moo has finally got the items he wants to be, that nuisance that we're come to love, and he jumps on in. Another the fall. 2 buybacks now. CDEC feeling like this could be the beginning of the end for him if they don't put up a solid fight. They want to clear out Moo. Nice swap back coming out from Banana, saves him, but the Sprout going to lock him in place right now. Nature's Prophet and Rubik trying to unload on him. That reactive armor is going to be helping. Positive Earn, Orchid out. They are working so hard to take down this machine, and they can't get it. Another Sprout, but that's not going to hold Timbersaw for long. He's a Timbersaw, for God's sakes. Meanwhile, on the backside, it is Vengeful Spirit who gets the last hit in. They finally do take down that Centaur. Hao now going toe-to-toe. Spectre, considering going to the high ground, will jump back in, and now Nature's Prophet ends up falling. Moo, back from that early harassment and that hot pursuit, says, stop chasing me. I finally got you, and they take him down, and oh boy, at the end of that one, it's 5 on the side of NewBee who go down with a buyback from VS, and it's going to be 6 who fall on CDEC with 2 buybacks from Nature's Prophet and Centaur. My goodness, that was girthy.
That was just insane. I mean, how just so manly with this Aegis Immortal. He's willing to go in deep, and the fight begins with a chrono, and now it's back up. Like, that's how long the fight lasts, is that full 80-second duration. But now they can just go into the mid-tier 3, knowing there's no buyback, knowing there is the Chronosphere. Looks like the Void is a little bit more reserved in this position, but in the end, when he goes in, there's nothing to fear. Moo's also obviously shown how tanky he can be, not just with the skill set that the hero has up against the Nature's Prophet and avoiding all those sprouts, but with that Bloodstone, with the Plate Mail and Overclock, just a very great effective HP build, and obviously just worth every penny there as they go ahead, just break down the racks. Nothing skirmishes can do, and yeah, Radiant Spectre is a great comeback tool, but with a Rack's disadvantage, it's only going to be enough to keep them in the game for a little longer.
And she has yet to even break 10k net worth still, well behind her own Nature's Prophet, plus that Timbersaw, Rabbit's Wind Ranger, and of course Hao's Faceless Void. The comeback factor is now becoming just a bit of a dream at this point, as it would take a whole lot for skirmishes to muscle themselves back into this match, as it looks like as a whole, Team NewBee have pressed past the 10k net worth mark after the back of that big fight. And Roche to come up in the near future, I would imagine NewBee would consider playing it safe, waiting out for that opportunity, getting that extra life, and then trying to go for the crushing blow. And for skirmishes, still banking on maybe some sort of surprise play here. It's been pretty much this hit squad of the Centaur and the two supports, the Lich and the Rubik, who have been trying to catch out anyone. They were successful the last go around, but they'd only taken down the measly Skywrath Mage, and with just a little support to fall, it's not too troublesome for NewBee. They would love to get more out of it, but at this point, the items keep flowing in for NewBee. They're getting more and more durable. I mean, here, Rabbit has 3.8k. It's going to take a whole lot to take down even the supports at this point.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to make a play here on the bottom tier 2 tower, but Moo's going to go and repel that, and they're very far behind enemy lines. So they're just, I mean, they have Blink Daggers, they have ways to disengage, but they're not accomplishing anything with this. Like, they forced a TP rotation, and it's still NewBee's home turf. They're perfectly fine controlling this region, and yeah, maybe he's farming up with the Radiance, but how rapidly? Like, you look at Radiance as a way to farm up the jungle very quickly, just flash farm the waves. In the end, it's still a 33.5-minute Spectre with only 163 CS. Like, it's not that scary. And in the meantime, we see Hao's got his Mjolnir. He's farming up on the top lane perfectly fine, putting the pressure out there. So skirmishes have to TP back to defend their base. And we're going to see an engagement in the jungle, most likely.
This is going to be rough. Spectre and Lich are kind of off on their own. Rubik waiting on the side as well. If they get jumped on, promptly so, it could be devastating. They could fall before their teammates even get the rotation in right now. And they quickly leave. They force out themselves away, head to their own side, and peace on out. Meanwhile, Centaur down here and below, he does have the Blink and the TP. But for now, he's just going to plant himself, maybe trying to build in some extra intel, see how the movement's going to be here for NewBee. And NewBee, I'm still banking on the fact that they're going to wait out. Roche is going to be up momentarily, but actually it looks like the secondary timer might be a bit of a big one here. We'll find out in a moment. Sansheng's right there to scout it out. He puts down great detection to see if there's going to be any vision from skirmishes. There isn't. And there it is. It's actually not going to be too long of a timer, about another minute or so, and they'll be back up and ready for a duel, and NewBee will be right there to go toe-to-toe, I would imagine.
Yep, just for now, just controlling the map. They find a stack and a half of Ancients, so Hao's gonna eat that up real quick. We do see, though, the split push from the Centaur here. If he goes in tower range, he's gonna be doing return damage to the tower, which is pretty nice. So he clears out the creep wave. He gets a couple of extra free hits. I guess the backdoor protection there would heal it back up. But yeah, it's just putting pressure so that NewBee have to consider rotating back. If at the very least to farm, if not to defend, and that might give them cause to not break the base immediately. But we'll see. I think the only thing they're really waiting for is this Roshan, which as we see is going to be spawning there about 20 seconds or so. And yeah, we saw how quickly they could do it last time. Now we've got a little bit more on both the Void and the Wind Ranger. It should be pretty easy pickings, and I mean, do you see skirmishes having a chance to invade? The Chain Frost is strong, but I don't know if it's strong enough.
No, it's not going to be strong enough. I mean, even if they forget to pop their BKBs and they let it unleash its fury, it's going to be rough. I mean, you look at Vengeful Spirit, even building toward Crimson Guard here with the Buckler and Vitality Booster, she's sporting near 1800 life. That's supposed to be one of your supports that should be easily taken down. Skywrath Mage is probably your best bet, but he has a Ghost Scepter to make things that much more tricky. You know, heaven forbid he does pop that bad boy at the wrong time and eats a couple of bounces. But still, you're looking at a team that's going to be really tough to take down. Meanwhile, they're making it go on. Moo's getting overzealous here on his Timbersaw. Pops his BKB and might be feeding himself over. That's a nice bit of a bounty there. It says 602, but I would imagine with the new 6.82, it's going to add a whole lot more to it with the XP. And look at that gold change just off of the one takedown, near 2K gold, 3.2K XP swing. So skdec, they're happy to take that one. Moo is just getting a bit overzealous right there, maybe creating space, as I like to say.
Yeah, trying to see what he can do. Obviously, he has a lot of charges to work with, so he gets the near instant respawn BOTs back to the front lines. But in the end, it is a 1v4, and he just got himself caught out. That was actually a pretty extended clash there, but in the end, it's not going to be the big deal. The Stampede's committed, the Roche respawns. Hao will be picking that up for himself, I believe, probably selling the Midas here. And in that position, you can just go right on in. This is going to be skdec looking for their midnight hour last stand, and I just don't know if they can hold it. I mean, they don't have much control right now. They, like, the Orchid obviously isn't hindering anybody's movement. Oh, nice stun combo. Oh, might go down again.
Moo had just gotten back, and he's already now under pressure here, and he actually goes down. Doesn't get the opportunity to pull out that Bloodstone Suicide. They lose the Moo, but they do get a hold of the Aegis, and it actually does get picked up there and goes into the pocket of Faceless Void. None other than Mr. Hao is going to be able to live on. He's got a Chrysalis now. He's going to be bringing the crits. That Mjolnir also complete in 2.6K. This guy can right-click like a beast. So you have him and your Wind Ranger bringing in the heavy, heavy damage. I don't think this is going to hear him too much. And, well, Nature's Prophet doing a bit of cliff jungling or scouting out, maybe hoping to get a hold of that Courier, but can't quite cat it out as the Courier is en route instead to the Secret Shop.
So going to be finishing with that Crimson Guard for the Venge most likely. But for now, yeah, the situation with Moo is a little awkward there. The timing of the BKB wasn't quite right, but he's back in it. A lot less Bloodstone charges, but he's still here, and that's the important thing. The Ice Armor, kind of nullified by the Desolator, it still does provide that nice negative attack speed effect, though, and we're going to see Centaur jump in.
Jump in, Hoof Stomp. He's got his BKB out. He's looking to try to do as much damage as possible. Hao's brought down to half-life, but he's... Oh, I was going to say he's going to reserve the Chrono till second life, but he's not. He's going to just get the Centaur. Oh, the heavy burst in the Timbersaw is enough to break the beefcake right there. Now they cut over to the left-hand side. They want support blood. And a quick TP out there, a quick reaction from Rubik to get away. He steals the Time Walk there, maybe looking to get a reinitiation, but he doesn't have a whole lot of mana to work with, so even if he leaps in, he will not have the follow-up telekinesis. He does see that, and they pull back. For now, they're holding the high ground. Your Tier 3 is going to be taken down to about, I don't know, like a 6 of life. Not too much left there, as Rabbit was initially unloading on it with that ultimate. But they look like they might go for round 2 instead, given that they didn't lose any casualties. As far as buybacks, on the side of skdec, it's pretty much Spectre and Rubik only. So if they go down, this could be the beginning of the end here. We'll see. They pop out the Crimson Guard.
That was really early in that guard. It's gone already.
Yeah, and they quickly take down the tower. They put their attention on the Tier 2. That Hoof Stomp, that was a bit of a whiff. Maybe he was trying to blink on in, but it's not going to happen right there. Hao looks to move on in. Your latch catches on him, but it's not going to catch on anything else. VS ends up going down. There's your swap. One life going to be expended there. This is the final hurrah for skdec. They're trying to focus fire Hao, but right there, using the Chakram is Rubik, and they managed to take down Hao. Hao does have a buyback to come back in if necessary, but skdec want to get as much as possible. BKB going to be popped right here. Moo not going to be able to dish out a whole lot, and he also goes down. He actually commits the suicide there at the end, but still, 4 NewBee to fall and only lose the Lich on the side of skdec. A valiant hold right there, but still they did take the Tier 3 and 1 racks.
I mean, that's still, but that's 3,300 gold going positive for skdec, 1,300 loss for NewBee. Like, that's an absolutely insane fight to take in this position when you're this far behind. There are 15,000 gold behind. They've been 12, 14,000 experience, and my goodness, that's just insane. But one thing I gotta say is how limited Faceless Void's health pool is. Essentially, any damage you do to him is permanent because he doesn't have any lifesteal. I mean, they have the mechanism, obviously. Bloodstone Heal comes into play, but the bottom line is when they put things like Double Edge and this Stolen Chakram into him, that damage is going to be bringing down his health pool very quickly, and it's not going to be coming back. He's going to be, with the Aegis having that second life, but without it, just dropping too quickly. So he really needs to make that Chronosphere count. The last time he used it was just on the Centaur, and it was enough to get the kill, but obviously not enough to break the base as open as they needed it to. I mentioned also that the Crimson Guard was a very early usage. That thing only lasts 9 seconds. So the fact that 7 seconds were used outside the base didn't do them any favors either.
Yeah, not the best timing there to try to take advantage of that utility. And, ultimately it could have been a bit of a problem. Rubik is going to be holding the Chakram, I would wager, given how much effectiveness it had in that previous fight, especially on Hal. He might hold it now for the meantime. Nature's Prophet completes out his Mjolnir, which I would imagine is going to be en route momentarily into his pocket, so that does help out if he wants to, you know, do a bit of more side push action here. He's got the old Bulldog standard, the Blink Mjolnir, ready to go, and we'll see. I mean, CDEC, it's not a whole lot to bring back, but you can see the nyeh right there on the net worth to try to come back in their favor. And for NewBee, you can't afford to hand away too much like that. CDEC are trying to build up some extra item progression that could help out in these fights. You got your Ghost Scepter there on your Rubik, and Lich, he's got the Vlads. He's going to be the one to hold the aura for his team to get that bit of extra lifesteal, especially for someone like Spectre, who, using that gold, gets back. But meanwhile, up in the jungle right now, they see how they're making it go on Lich. Lich going to be caught out and quickly taken down. So they strike first, taking a hold of a support right there, as it looks like they will continue to congregate up and above this top lane, and maybe looking to push on in. Now with Lich down, no buyback. Their Chain Frost is going to be off the field, and maybe this is an opportunity for them to keep on moving in. Now without that extra life, but they got Chrono ready to go. Rabbit also dealing a heavy punch. Has that ultimate orb and nearly 2,700 gold here. But look at this from behind. Nature's Prophet. He's not going to allow them to get that easy push in. He's looking for the backdoor protection here as he prevents it. As they now unloading. The tower's not got it yet. It actually does have backdoor protection, but they're dealing decent damage here. It's actually bringing it down. And they're going to get it.
Does later focus fire just a little bit too good. If they stunned earlier, maybe they could bring it back up. But for now, the tower falls, and they're just going to tear into the Centaur.
Centaur, though, not taking too much damage yet. Hal looks to save it. Now he holds him in place, and there's the big damage from Rabbit that takes it down. And now they catch out maybe latched up, trying to retreat to the north, but can't get so lucky. Rubik does clean up the rest of Hal right there, using that Chakram to full potential, really getting his own taste of his medicine from Moo. And now Banana caught with the Sprout, and here we go again. Man, look at Garter go. This Rubik player right now, trying to bring it back, using the benefit of that Timber Saw ability. And they take down a couple. They lose their tier 3, but once again, they take down a couple, and they begin to slowly take advantage of the comeback factor. And now they look to make a push. It's been quite a while since this team has moved as a group across the river. But here they go, slowly sieging down the mid lane. As far as buybacks, you do have your Hal buyback available, but that's it. VS is going to be down for another 40 seconds.
The big deal here is that maybe bought back for this. He still has the buyback gold penalty as well, and if he gets hit by the next Chronosphere, he's going to be down for the count. They can just push in from there. So I've loved the shenanigans, the split push play coming out, but maybe, no, not like this, not even with the
Oh no, he's out! He's done for, folks. 100 seconds, no buyback. That is not what you want. No Chronosphere even necessary. And now Lich, desperately trying to get away, turns back and he goes down. NewBee, not even giving him the lick of hope to try to even take it to their tier 2. They fire back hard, and they take down that core and that support. And unfortunately for the rest of them, they're going to have to look to pull back. Nature's Prophet desperately looking to farm out on the side. He is bringing in the bank right now, though. He's the top net worth for CDEC right now. 3.2K in reserve. I imagine he's holding that for his buyback, at least a reserve amount for his buyback, as he continues to just add pressure elsewhere. And they're going to need a lot of extra help to divert attention elsewhere. But we were expecting this game to be over and out on the side of NewBee. Maybe about 10 minutes ago they were going to go for the final blow, but slowly, man, CDEC are not going down without a fight.
Yeah, they've been trying to hold it, but in this position, all they've got left is this Chakram, the Stampede, the Chain Frost. They need to make those abilities count right here, but I just don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, they have the Chronosphere coming, but for now, Rabbit's the
Chakram going to town on Rabbit. They're trying to lock him in place. There's your save from Banana. They want to make Banana play. Rabbit's still there, though. Low life. Latch is going to connect. Mystic Flare follow-up. He's trying to soak in the damage. 4-staff for the save. A double 4-staff. But your Chronosphere, Hal is back from the dead, and he wants blood. Cleans out quickly, both supports, goes on Nature's Prophet, and that is it. Hal just comes in, the final curtain of this game, and cleans out the rest of them. Spectre's going to be back now, and we'll see if they can make it happen. Centaur comes back in, but, well, Centaur goes down. Same with Spectre. That's it, folks. There was a brief glimmer of hope there for CDEC to make a fight back, but ultimately, in the end, it's NewBee who come out on top.
Yeah, they certainly had to fight for it there. There were a couple of issues with a couple of their earlier engagements, but in the end they hammer it home. They definitely earned the win with how well they performed in the landing stage in particular. Like, they had some issues with the Timber Saw, but he bounced back, had a relatively well-timed Bloodstone, and they created tons of space for Hal. to do so much work on the top lane there. And honestly, Rabbit did great too. 7-1-12, the end result for him on the Wind Ranger, and he got as farmed as a Wind Ranger could want to be. So, yeah, great play here from them. 45.5 minutes here as our first game, the debut of the Summit to China.
Absolutely, and what a nice start. Very action-packed, but it's NewBee who are going to walk away with the W. Stick around, folks. We got 3 more best of ones for you this bright and early morning over here on the East Coast for all you fans from all over the world. I hope you're enjoying it. It's the Summit 2 by G2A.com. I'm Coddle Guy. Catch me over on Twitter at Coddle Guy. My great co-caster is going to be Blaze. Catch him on his Twitter at Blaze Casting. Our next match to come up here at about 12:15 CEST is going to be Team DK going against Hyper Glory Team. Be sure to stick around. We'll be back in just a moment.